Hey, welcome to Let's Grow Together with Kalyan, Shruti and Richa. ये पॉडकास्ट सीरीज बनाया ही गया है टू लर्न फ्रॉम द इंडस्ट्री एक्सपर्ट्स. ये ट्विटर स्पेस सीरीज को पॉडकास्ट में कन्वर्ट किया गया है सो एवरीथिंग इज रॉ एंड अनफिल्टर्ड. You will hear the audience asking questions to the guest as well. कि ये podcast series is going to be super insightful. So come with an open mind and I promise you बहुत कुछ सीखने मिलेगा. So let's start the podcast in 3, 2, 1. How to grow on Twitter featuring Sejal Sud. Okay, so let's start with this session. So first question is, Sejal, why do you think Twitter is important? Like why Twitter according to you is one of the best platform to create content on?
Because I think it has a very low probability of getting banned compared to other platforms. Though a lot of news channels say that it will get banned, I will tell you why. Not a lot of countries have their own political or governmental setups on other platforms. So Twitter is a very important form of communication. I think we also in the Russia-Ukraine war as well, right? I didn't see any minister create, with all due respect, creating a YouTube video or a reel कि भाई हमारे यहाँ bombardment हो रही है. नहीं, it was Twitter, right? Lot of companies, even companies in countries, when they give their stance, Twitter is one of those platforms that actually helps. And the whole nature of a conversational tone of the platform does add up to the whole thing. Saying that, I wouldn't really undermine the other platforms because every platform has its own value, right? Probably LinkedIn is very beautiful when you want to go for professional connection with someone. But Twitter just helps you get a personal connection with a lot of people who are from different walks of life. Probably, let's just say there's a CEO, right? Company CEO or whoever. If I were to approach someone on LinkedIn, I'd be more formal. But if I approach someone on Twitter, I just comment under their tweet and then, I start a conversational flow with them, it just gets me, instead of a foot in the door, it gets me a head in the door. So it just helps you crack the awkward phase and just get into a personal conversation with someone. So that is one. Second is, see, I created content. The first time I made a YouTube channel in 2019. Uske baad I went to LinkedIn to create content for 6 to 7 months, and that was not to create content, it was just to build distribution and probably connect with people, not specifically for content but probably build distribution for if I plan to sell things in the future or probably build on it further, right? That was the reason why I started probably getting into the whole content game. Then I came to Instagram. Apparently I am not shy, but at the point of time I was a bit camera shy. I've been on stage ever since I was 5 years old and all, so pretty chill. But us time kya tha, I was a bit shy in front of camera. So I realized कि नहीं flow ठीक नहीं बन रहा. So Twitter was one platform that worked well for me and offered me comfort as well. Right, 2020 I had a drop year. I was working around exploring, but again you get bored at home, right? So Twitter was one platform that was able to probably quench my thirst for knowledge because I was really into investing, startups, and things around that. A lot of people, founders, wealth managers who I connected with. So it just worked out for me. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि मैंने बाकी platforms try नहीं करे, and I will be trying them as well because specifically as a content creator or any person, right, you need to grow on every platform. So that is very, very important. But if I'm looking at a specific platform, it just worked out well for me. And at the end of the day, and not every platform is for every person. You need to understand and also understand. See, growth is very good, but growth is in number terms of numbers, connections. You can have like 1 million followers, but if you're not connected to your followers, what's the point of that growth? And you can, it's better to have 1,000 genuine people around you, even followers ke term mein, who you actually know, instead of 1 million strangers. Might help, might not help, but I believe that unless you have a personal connection with on followers on any platform, there's no point of growing. And also know why you want to grow, because what's the point? Like, why do you want 1 million followers? क्या पता आपका काम 10,000 followers में चल रहा है, क्या पता 20,000 में चल रहा है. So understand that, and the vanity matrix is very addictive. I get addicted myself, but at the end of the day, you have to like understand that numbers are numbers. You can't really obsess over them. As much as they are beautiful, they sometimes do symbolize status as well. But you sometimes have to zone out of it. And I remember myself, right? I post probably I hit 98,000 followers or whatever. I do that myself. Celebrating small wins is very important, but also knowing when to zone out of them is very important. Any platform, because the thing is that engagement plays with your head. And as a content creator who's probably creating content on Twitter for I think 1.5 years, I personally can tell you it messes with your head. So do celebrate small wins. Don't ऐसे नहीं कि पूरा साधु बाबा बन जाओ about your followers or whatever. But do understand that it's okay even if engagement goes down and also numbers aren't everything. But yeah, let's continue.
That explains a lot. I do agree to this part कि ट्विटर पे जो कनेक्शन बनते हैं वो amazing होते हैं. Like I personally know every one of the listener who is listening to me right now, and this is not possible on Instagram and definitely not possible on YouTube. But this is possible from LinkedIn और Twitter पे, and Twitter पे तो बहुत ही ज़्यादा because of the spaces and everything. So I completely agree with you. Also, to everyone who is listening, अगर आपको कोई question है सेजल से तो you can just drop a comment. We will definitely try to cover that question and also tweet about this space. Yeah, over to you, Shruti. Yeah, next question.
Sejal, I would like to ask something related to the profile optimization because there are people who want to like make it not make it personal. They want to like create a professional profile on Twitter. So, what advice would you give to them, like regarding the profile optimization thing? How should they work on it? Relate to the bio, cover photo, display picture, then the link. There is this option of adding a link, which works very well. So, what kind of link you would suggest to add over there?
See, now when you network, there's two kind of networking. One is probably cold email or cold DMing networking. Probably over there, you just need two things. Probably a reasonable number of followers, a DP that just makes you sound legitimate. That is one. Let's just say if I have to go for a collab to Kalyan and I'm an agency, right? Probably if I just tell him that Kalyan, XYZ brand campaign, vagera, 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 automatically I will get his interest, right? If that is the kind of profession I'm in, you don't need much, just a proper, reasonable DP, like a reasonable number of followers, and most people do respond to work or brand collaboration. So that is one. Second is if you're trying to get clients for your work, what you do is you make a portfolio first. After that, obviously, you optimize a bio and all, but usually it's freelancers approaching the client, what I have seen in my experience. You clients usually just, am I audible?
Yes, you are, Sejal. Yeah.
So at least the kind of freelancers I worked with, because we work with a lot of people in, the video editing field, content writing field, and all. So we interact with a lot of these people. So what we do is we don't usually approach a specific freelancer. It's usually the freelancer approaching the client. At least in my case. So when we do that, the first thing that you need to, again, as a freelancer, what you need to ensure is have a solid portfolio. That is one. Have some experience. A DP wouldn't really matter that much, and it'll be more about your portfolio. The client doesn't really care about what your profile is unless they are they're specifically looking for something specific, like probably growth hacking, right? वहाँ पे अगर जब आपकी खुद की growth नहीं है, मेरी क्या hacking करवाओगे? Getting that point. But if you're working as a content creator, writer, or video editor, I don't think the followers will matter much. I'll just be concerned with your portfolio. As long as my work is done and we have a functional relationship, I wouldn't care beyond that. At least that's how I work with my freelancers, right? When I'm asking them to edit a video or things around that, that's how we work with them. So depends. If you're probably a person who wants to build authority on a platform, let's just say people who are probably CXO level people. Now their profile optimization is something that comes up. So you list one of your most eye-catching achievements. That is one. Second is you have a good DP. The third thing that you do is have a good banner, headline, and things around that. So you can do all those things and probably get all those kind of things. But I think it's very, very essential you understand what your portfolio is like and what are you achieving, right? Like put in that much effort जितना आपको result चाहिए. Otherwise, if you're just using it for fun, like I started Twitter for fun. I had no plans of hitting. I thought एक साल में 1,000 followers hit हो जाए बहुत बड़ी बात है. I didn't have any friends on Twitter before I came to Twitter, right? So obviously later I realized that I can grow it, and then I did use probably growth hacking and all. And that also was mainly because a lot of people liked what I was doing. So a lot of people like when people talk to them. Too many people sell, very few people talk. You're getting it, and you don't need to always actively sell irrespective of whatever you're doing, right? You just talk to people, people start trusting you, they will go for your services irrespective. A lot of people don't act conversational. Like a lot of people will tell me कि हमको engagement नहीं आ रहा है, आप दूसरों को engagement दे रहे हो जो आप एक engagement expect कर रहे हो. So you need to be very very understanding that people just give you back what you give to them on socials as well. If you're a small account, interact with accounts of your level. मतलब, interact with bigger accounts as well, but make friends with smaller accounts first. Because I personally don't understand the whole follower hierarchy, to be very, very honest. Like, I have friends who only have 20 followers, and I have friends who have 2 followers as well. So it doesn't really matter to me when I make friends with someone. But like a lot of accounts do that, because that is how they check your legitimacy and authority on socials, the whole vanity matrix. So you do that, and also you interact with bigger accounts, you comment on their posts, उनके followers भी आपके comments देखेंगे, so just automatically the whole cycle gets turning. So I think I've answered your question.
Yeah, right. Sejal, thank you so much. That was really a detailed insight, and I hope a lot of people have learned from it, including me as well. I have like I got to know a lot of things. Another thing I would like to ask you, like because we are talking here about creating a profile, be it like personal or professional, I want to ask like should a person who have a agency or a company and that person want to create an account, but the individual have to like manage both the accounts, be it of a company or a person, like be it a personal account or be it of his or her firm's or the organization's account. So as per your suggestion, what I would like to know, like, what is your perspective on this? What advice would you like to give on this thing? Like, should a person be having a Twitter account as an individual, showcasing their personal brand as a person, or having an account for his or her firms or the organization?
Okay, see, this is very subjective. The reason I say this is because, see, a lot of agency people sublet. You're getting it. Sublet their work of brands to other people. They have like a agency has freelancers working with it. At least that's how most of my agency friends function. So they do manage their own personal accounts on their own. But again, it depends on the level of how busy you are and also prioritize, right? If you're probably a agency person who only has like 2 3 clients, I think Twitter is not very difficult. If you know the right things to do, you can actually grow with one tweet a day as well. Like I have friends who I helped in a personal capacity and also in a professional capacity where they asked me for a consultation, right? And just with one consultation, I think my friend was posting like one tweet a day, and that guy hit like 20,000 followers. But again, what I'm trying to tell you is not कि इतने followers hit करने ही करने हैं. What I'm trying to say is that prioritize. अगर आप बहुत ही busy इंसान हैं और आपको लगता है कि आप अपना energy कहीं और लगा सकते हैं, so why probably you want to manage multiple accounts subletted to freelancers. But see, the thing is that if you can manage your own Twitter account on your own, it is always good. I do my Twitter on my own because I don't think anyone can give that. How do I say this? Personality is the masala to your content. Content always gets repeated. Content can never be fresh. Everyone will have the same content, right? Let's just say like हर किसी ने थोड़ी थोड़ी ट्वीट सिमिलर रहती है, लाइक ग्रास इज ग्रीनर एट द अदर साइड. कभी कभी हम रियलाइज करते हैं या फिर कुछ कुछ ऐसी चीज़ें रियलाइजेशन होती है, हम ट्वीट कर देते हैं. बट ह्यूमंस तो सारे सेम ही है, इमोशंस तो सेम ही रहेंगे, राइट? द ओनली थिंग दैट मेक्स अ डिफरेंस इज योर पर्सनैलिटी, हाउ यू टॉक, हाउ यू बीन groomed. And that is how people actually get into your content. Like, let's just say if a tweet goes from Elon Musk's account and Elon Musk just writes any kind of nonsense, right? Let's just say I think he spoke about some stock, right? And वो stock एकदम से it boomed. एंड फिर रियलाइज करा वो किसी और चीज़ की बात करता है, किसी और स्टॉक को बूम करा दिया. अब वही कोई और बंदा करेगा, उसको लिखेगा, फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. आई थिंक personal touch always matters for your personal account, but for a client's account you can always sublet it to freelancers and all. If you think that you can manage those kind of salaries, then you should.
Right. Thank you for sharing that, Sejal. Talking about the content, like we all know and we hear a lot of times that they once you create a piece of content, like you can reshare it on different platforms. But because here we are talking about Twitter only, so I would like to ask you one thing. Like there is a certain tweet which somebody have seen on the platform, and then the person wants to retweet that. So how can we identify if this is a tweet I should retweet and like make certain changes, and then so I can get better engagement? Just like if that tweet is related to my certain niche only. Let's talk about marketing. There is a tweet which I have seen. It is related to content creation or content writing, and then the insights whatever is shared over there is something very useful, but I would like to retweet the same, but I have to make certain tweaks and changes. So how can somebody identify that this is something like the retweet? How can a person identify this is a retweetable tweet, like not just any other tweet out there which is already existing on the platform, people are sharing it?
I think it's very subjective, and it's okay to retweet something that someone else has retweeted unless it's a very original idea. The best thing that you can do, a respectable thing to do, is probably give them credits. You don't want to give credits, still it's okay only, but usually you should give credits or at least tweak it a bit so it doesn't seem like someone else's tweet, right? Certain tweets have templates, right? Certain templates are like probably anything. जैसे कोई memes बनती हैं, right? And you meme के ऊपर you just add a word or whatever. Now that is something that you can use, but then certain tweets that you think is someone's original thought or you just think that you should give credits, you should. But the thing is, nothing is original in this world, if you know what I'm talking about, right? Plagiarism is wrong, but you can't exactly plagiarize a tweet because it's a tweet. If it was that important, like obviously tweets are very important, they are very impactful, but if it was that important, I wouldn't, or that secretive, I wouldn't share it with the world, right? Obviously, the honorable thing to do is to give credits, and as a content creator, a good practice would be to give credits to your peers. But if, let's just say, nothing is original at the end of the day, I hope you're understanding what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Thoughts are never original, they're built from the our surroundings. नहीं तो मैं हर चीज़ का credit देने लग जाऊंगी. But again, if you think that you've seen it from somewhere and you haven't changed the words or you haven't rephrased it properly and you think it's word to word similar, the honorable thing to do is to give credits.
Right, understood. Next thing, relate to like tweeting, I would like to ask, there are certain kind of funny tweets which people do keep posting one day or the other, or what we call shit posting in other words also. So according to you, should one be doing that to grow on Twitter?
Sorry, I didn't get you. Can you please repeat? I'm so sorry.
No problem. I was asking, there are certain kind of funny tweets, like, or some humorous tweet, which is not that much informative or insightful, but it is engaging. Or at times, what we call it shit posting. So, should a person be doing that to grow on Twitter at times?
See,
What
if
kind
it
of like
see,
is that?
I hate this word shit posting, and nothing against you saying it. Like a lot of people call funny stuff shit posting. If it was shit, you wouldn't post it. Like it, like in a way, your reputation depends on what you tweet, right? If you tweet something very blasphemous or probably misogynistic or something, people will cancel you. So something funny wouldn't be called shit posting. It will just be called humorous. And as a person, you're a multi-dimensional person, right? You have a humor to your personality, you have happiness, sadness, and different kind of emotions. So I think humor is a part of your personality as long as you know how to maintain the humor to serious ratio. And shit posting, like not to you but general में a lot of people use funny tweets के लिए shit posting. That's not the word. Shit is not the word for it. It's probably humorous posting, or you just like showing off your humor skills or something around that. But I personally don't really agree with that word, and I think creating relatable funny content takes effort and also takes brains and wits. Not everyone has it, so shouldn't call it shit posting. Yeah, but you should absolutely do that. It's a part of your personality, but just understand it is not Tanmay Bhatt's account, it is probably XYZ's account, so just maintain the ratio.
That makes sense. That makes sense, Sejal. And also the part where you said ki you have to take inspiration from others to it. Like it is, if I'm not wrong, it's a book called Steal Like an Artist. Basically, जो भी लिखा होना चाहिए वो लिखा गया है, and you just have to do the same thing, like tweet the same thing in your own words, which makes a huge difference. Now, my question to you is: we have discussed about the viral tweets, right? The viral tweets, as long as they belong to your niche, it's a great thing. But what if one of my uh, the funny tweets went viral and it attracted a lot of different kind of crowd? So this will be a negative case, right, Sejal? Or
I disagree.
okay,
I
explain. Yeah.
strongly disagree. See, probably people from a niche also might have a sense of humor, unless they are probably very odd, right? Everyone has a sense of humor, but obviously maintain that ratio. You can be funny yet serious. Like people need to understand this, right? See, I do a lot of financial literacy spaces where I have all these fund managers and people from like very fancy background, people coming on TV in my spaces. I also do book spaces where we talk about healthy practices that one can follow, and even I am learning to follow, and I'm learning a lot from these spaces. Yes, I do that, and that is a serious side of my personality. But also, I do have a funny side to me. I do have a 20-year-old side to me. I cannot pretend to be serious. Otherwise, you're not being authentic. Nobody's 100% authentic, but creating content wouldn't be fun for me. So I don't personally believe in having a niche, but being understanding of what ratio you need to maintain with serious to funny, that is one. Second is your personality can be your niche, bro. Like, I'm not even kidding. People who actually have a personality, I as a person, I'm 10 times more willing to follow people or content creators who have a personality instead of people just probably rote learning stuff or just typing things for the sake of typing. The so I personally think a content creator or a person is a multi-dimensional person, and you need to have a sense of humor. And even serious audience also has a sense of humor. Otherwise, they're not normal audience. But obviously, understand that you cannot post any and every kind of lewd stuff. right? Because a lot of that kind of content goes around on Twitter. You shouldn't do that. But obviously, having a sense of humor always makes your audience laugh. It makes you relatable with your audience, and not necessary कि हमेशा ज्ञान लिखना है, right? You can share personal stories, personal anecdotes, and people love that. Just share your own struggles. Just that makes you more realistic and likable as a person. If you're perfect all the time, like I wouldn't like you. Like nobody would like you, and there's a research on it as well. So make your content personality, and as a content creator, you evolve as well. So does your content. You'll understand, and also you will figure things out. But you need to be very very clear that don't make your content unidimensional. Make it like make content fluid, make it very dynamic. But obviously don't spread too much, but understand that you're a serious person who talks business, finance, marketing, whatever. And you can also have a sense of humor, or you can also have a personality. Any account that just posts all kind of like gyan all day long, I wouldn't really follow it. Obviously, being knowledgeable and well read is very, very important, but also having a tinge of probably masala to your personality is very, very important. That's just what separates you. Twitter is text, right? Text. So anyone can repeat. Personality is something that actually makes the edge.
That explains a lot. Acha, this question that I'm about to ask you, somehow I know the answer, but yet the inner me who wants to grow on Twitter wants to ask this question: Ki, do we need to do something extraordinary with the tweet that we are writing so that the reach increases like anything? So that like if I'm writing a plain old words के basis पे कोई चीज, can I do something creative with that words so that वो थोड़ा सा reach उसका ज़्यादा होगा? Does it make a difference? Like Sejal, have you experienced something like this कि मैं simple सा ऐसा कुछ लिख दूँ और उसको अलग से कुछ लिखूँ? Will it make a difference? Just if you can give a.
See, probably having clear text is very important. A lot of people try to overcomplicate or over decorate, right? How do I say this? Some decoration on your tweets looks good. Like, it's Diwali, you decorate a house, thoda bahut is good. But you put over decoration in whatever you're doing, just makes it very annoying. Like, a lot of tweets are very well written, yet they do not, probably follow proper format. When I say format, your tweets need to be very clear, right? They need to have like a click, not a clickbait element. I wouldn't say that, but it needs to have clear information. When you probably just make it too wordy, it just is a turn off. Like, why do you think people will read what you've written? See, people follow you for three reasons. They like you, probably they're crushing on you. They say that, oh my gosh, you're so pretty. That's one reason. Or beautiful, handsome, whatever. Second reason is, I look up to you. I want to be like you. Probably you're just Sachin Tendulkar, Virat Kohli. They're probably, masters of the game, and people look up to them. Or a third person is someone who's teaching me something, right? Someone who's teaching me probably how to learn about things and around that. So a lot of people follow you for those reasons as well. Obviously, you do have a certain format how you should write your tweets. The tweets need to be simple, clear, and don't make it too wordy. And also, like, probably understand what does your audience want. There's a very specific format, and obviously, if you probably want to know how to tweet better, you can always come for a consultation or something. But what I'm trying to say is that at the end of the day, your tweets need to be crisp and clear, have sarcasm, have a sense of humor. अगर फॉर एग्जाम्पल मैं हर चीज़ प्लेन लैंग्वेज में लिख दूंगी, वो सारे लोग कॉपी करके लिख देंगे, बट प्रॉब्लम इज समथिंग वेरी एक्सक्लूसिव टू योर पर्सनैलिटी, टू योर सेंस ऑफ ह्यूमर, राइट? Share those things, share personal anecdotes, share funny things around you that makes you human. But obviously be very mindful of what you share, because it's a public platform, and also it's a certain kind of audience you'd like to attract. People who are in business and finance also have a personality, right? They also like funny stuff. So funny things are okay, and but being mindful of the ratio serious to funny and all.
That is amazing. That is amazing. So, Sejal, my next question is around the video format. Like Twitter has started, experimenting with the short video formats, and I'm sure ki they have to. Like, there is no other way the application can make revenue because they have to show ads, and best way to show ads is through the videos. Now, what would you suggest? Like, should a new profile, post videos on a regular basis, or he should or she should do it on a very you know maybe हफ्ते में एक बार या हफ्ते में दो बार या फिर नहीं एट ऑल? अगर वो सिर्फ ट्वीट्स के थ्रू ही कर रहा है, वीडियोस के थ्रू नहीं कर रहा, विल इट बी अ डिफरेंट? हाउ इज योर एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ what is your know about?
See, Twitter and LinkedIn follow very similar pattern for reach. And I would like to probably add something or improvise on something. Twitter originally does not give you reach. When you have followers is when you start getting reach. Right? We need to understand this. You might have the best tweet in the world, the most viral material in the world, But again, I gave the Elon Musk example, right? If let's just say you do not have a certain number of followers, you will not get engagement. So to build that certain set of followers, you start engaging with other accounts. You start commenting on big accounts का पोस्ट राइट बिकॉज वहाँ पे रिफ्लेक्ट होता है तुम्हारा वहाँ पे रिप्लाई दिखेगा लोग तुमको फॉलो करने आएंगे एंड इवन आई थिंक probably you need to understand if you don't have the time to tweet every day you probably talk to someone who's grown on Twitter. You ask them, you go for a professional consultation, you probably talk to them, you ask them to refer you freelance or something, and then you can probably curate your profile accordingly. So that is one. Second is see, if the right account retweets your post, you can easily go viral. Like there was this one account, like someone had shared a tweet with me. They had helped me previously, and it was an account with I think 50 or 100 followers, right? And they'd helped me previously, so they sent me a tweet that this cause has happened, and we need help. And it was a very legitimate cause. It was a fundraiser for some Zomato driver or something, and I realized that बहुत गर्मी and whatever. So I retweeted it and probably shared it around, right? And through that one retweet, I think the post got around 70,000 likes, and that guy gained like 3,000 followers. But again, what I'm trying to say is don't take a retweet from me. What I'm trying to say is that when the right accounts see your stuff and they probably share it on their platform, it just makes it better, right? That is one. Secondly, I'm very selective about what I retweet, even from my friends or probably people I don't know, because I think if someone's in dire need, I will help them instead of just a vanity post. That is the second thing. Third thing is that, again, when you're new on the platform, there is no original reach initially. That reach is built via engaging with other accounts, gaining a certain set of followers, engaging with them, and then eventually reach is built. So we need to be very clear on this. That is one. Second is Twitter is a great platform to grow on because you can probably get on a personal level with a CXO, CEO, or probably some client you've been trying to connect with. It just becomes more easy. You get a head in the door instead of foot in the door. So that's why I prefer Twitter over other platforms. But again, you, Twitter cannot replace other platforms. But then again, I personally really like it. So yeah, any other question, I'm happy to answer those.
Sure. So, Sejal, what I want to know is frequency of posting. Now, of course, जो बड़े accounts है, they have their own set of thing कि जब कुछ आएगा तब हम post करेंगे. But what about the smaller accounts? Like they are the ones who actually need a discipline when it comes to tweeting. So, what is the frequency that one should be posting the tweets?
See, personally, I think I'm a very small account compared to other accounts. The reason I say this is there's something attached. Like every account has a certain amount of magnitude related to it, and also like set of followers. Like my account has a very interesting, age group following it, and my audience is mainly finance and business, and probably a lot of other things as well. But it's very niche specific. So what I'm trying to say is that I personally think that I need to consistently post more, but to build that audience, the first thing that you do is don't build every follower, build specific set of followers. That is one. Also post humorous and candid things from your life. Third is that probably as a small account, even I'm a small account, but as a small account in probably number sense, what you do is that you engage with other accounts. That's the best thing that you can do for yourself. Make friends on a platform. When you make friends on a platform, friends interact with each other's posts. Because it's a public conversational flow, so people see your banter, people tend to join in, you further make friends. So it's more about, how do I say, it's more about making friends and then growing on a platform. It just becomes easy. But if you do not have the time for it, then you probably look at growth hacking, and you can probably consult someone or come for a consultation or things around that. So that's how you look at things. You see what is important for you, prioritize. Would you want to grow it as your own personal brand, or would you want to like get a consultation, hire someone, and then go ahead with it? So it varies, even for a small account.
It was interesting to hear that, Sejal. Sejal, adding to that, I would like to ask, like earlier you mentioned that you used certain growth hacking strategies in your initial days when you joined Twitter. So would you like to share a few of them?
See, the thing is that how do I explain it to you? The best growth hacking strategy is engaging with other accounts. That is one. Second is understanding what is trending. Trend does get you good followers, but following built over consistency is more loyal. You get better engagement and you can get a better traction. Someone following you over one viral thing might not always last. And a lot of people tend to unfollow you after a viral thing. So you need to understand trends. You can look at trends. You can look at probably engaging with other accounts. You can do a lot of spaces. Like जैसे Instagram के लिए reels है, वैसे Twitter के लिए spaces हैं. And Twitter spaces is the easiest way. to gain followers because just talking, and if you're talking sense, people will follow you. So I think it's not very hard. Like a lot of my friends say that Twitter is very hard to grow on. I feel that other platforms are very hard to grow on. So there's no audible.
No,
Acha.
Sejal, we
It's
lost
very
you sort of.
profile specific. Do spaces, do simple tweets that are very crispy, sharp, have a sense of humor, also work around sarcasm in your specific niche, and be like share personal anecdotes. People really like that.
Adding to that, Sejal, I would like to ask, like, talking about Twitter Spaces, you have been doing Twitter Spaces from a long time, and would you like to share how effective is hosting a Twitter Space, and what would you like to advise to those who have started or who want to start their Twitter Spaces?
Again, you need to understand people will only attend your Twitter spaces if you go to their Twitter spaces, right? At least, right? So you need to, because कोई क्यों अपना टाइम प्रेशियस टाइम लेकर आएगा? अब तो वैसे ही लॉकडाउन हट गया है, लोग भी इतने फ्री नहीं हैं, तो कोई क्यों आपको इतना टाइम देगा, राइट? यू नीड टू बी वेरी प्रैक्टिकल अबाउट थिंग्स. दैट इज हाउ लाइफ वर्क्स. इट इज लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स इन लाइफ इज barter, right? And barter in a good way as well, right? You go support your friend shows support to you, like anytime. Like I'll explain you one very basic thing, right? If someone's been helping you or coming to your space, automatically you'll be more willing to show up to their spaces, or probably like if someone's been very nice to you. So firstly, go to other people's spaces, talk to them, interact over there. People automatically will realize if you're a good speaker, people themselves will encourage you to host a space. And just randomly host a space, you already have speakers for your space, because जो लोग active है वही आपकी space में आएंगे ना. Getting the whole point. So you need to curate it in a very proper manner. You need to be very mindful how you're building your audience. Like my audience was built over a year, and it's all very how do I say, the audience was built over a year. It's very niche specific business and finance. And I realized that a lot of big accounts do not sometimes get that kind of engagement that I have on my account, because of purely that reason that my account's been very very active, and people I've been interacting with my audience as well in a space, just probably sometimes randomly replying back to their tweets or whatever, and people like that. Specifically the whole vanity matrix thing, again I'm going into it. Like even if they don't know you, they just see a follower count and they just like it when people reply back to them. So the reply thing is something that is very good. Like you should always reply back to people, at least not every reply, but if you get 10 comments, at least reply to 4 to 5 out of them, or do 3 at least.
I completely agree to whatever you have said, and that is very helpful talking about spaces. And then about the replies, I have also realized that whenever we reply, like whenever we start replying to the comments, we start getting more engagements, and then people also start responding back. So that is definitely one thing which works a lot on Twitter. One last question I would like to ask Sejal. According to you, should a person be getting a Twitter Blue subscription, or who should be the right person? I mean, who is the person that should get a Twitter Blue subscription that will be helpful? I mean, getting that subscription will be helpful to that specific audience. And who are those person according to you?
Okay, so anyone and everyone, firstly, who wants to get it. Second is you can do a lot of things without a Twitter Blue subscription as well. But probably certain times, certain subscription always come with perks as well, right? I think it streamlines your content in a much better manner, what you're consuming also in a much better manner. And I think you also have an edit button. So it does help you over there, but I don't have a Twitter Blue subscription. But I'm still managing very well without it. But I would love to try it out. Right. Even the Twitter Blue, and I think you might want to talk about the blue tick if you guys are up for it.
That is amazing. Yeah, that is true. And okay, Sejal. So, okay, we have a lot of speakers. If any one of you wants to ask Sejal about anything, just raise your hand, and we will, ask you to, convey your question and everything. So, Sejal, my question to you would be, there is a lot of hate that you get once you go little viral. So, how do you handle something like that, Sejal? Like the hates and everything.
इतनी हिट अभी मिली नहीं है, बट हाँ थोड़ी बहुत मिल जाती है. सो व्हाट यू डू इज यू रियलाइज दैट क्या 5-6 दिन के बाद ये मैटर करेगा. एंड समटाइम्स कुछ लोगों के कमेंट्स उनकी एग्जिस्टेंस की तरह इररेलेवेंट होते हैं, बट इन सेइंग दैट you should take genuine criticism, right? If I just tell you that, oh my gosh, you're ugly, आप अगली हो ठीक है, अब मैं उसको चेंज तो नहीं कर सकती ना यार. बट अगेन अगर कुछ रेलिवेंट है, मेरे कंटेंट के रिलेटिंग है, अगर कोई मुझे एडवाइस दे रहा है जो जेन्युइन क्रिटिसिज्म जो जेन्युइन है, I will take that. Otherwise, you take the things with a pinch of salt. It is not easy, but eventually you build a thick skin to it on social media. I remember like sometimes earlier when I used to get hate, I used to start crying because old people, like very old mature people hating on a 19-year-old, 20-year-old. But then you just get used to it and you also start ignoring, right? And you realize that same people who are hating on you today are probably were people who were DMing you 1 month ago for a podcast or were texting you for some other favor, right? So you realize that, and that has happened to me quite a lot of times, right? So some people will tell me that someone said something, and then uske baad I just look that person up and I'm like, "Acha, iska to DM aaya tha, right?" And then you just ignore it. You learn to ignore things, and it's okay. People are saying it behind the screen, right? इतना hit तो नहीं मुझे मिलता, and I hope ना ही मिले. That is one. Second is that someone saying it behind the screen, right? You wouldn't say certain things that you say on text to some people, and also ठीक है ना, क्या पता शायद से उनको कोई ज़्यादा ही problem हो. So it's okay, learn to ignore stuff. And when you think it's necessary, also learn to probably, bash people well, but when it's necessary. And I usually haven't faced that situation. When I do face a certain situation, I make sure that I at least inform the person that I saw what you did. So it's normal only.
Great. So, if any of the audience has any question, they can ask. I think Rajan raised his hand. Hi, Rajan. If you want to add something.
Guys, before Rajan says anything, Rajan is the guy, the reason why I came to Twitter. Okay, Rajan, you may speak now.
Yeah, hi everyone. I just wanted to talk about this $8 blue tick thing only. I mean, being follow like I'm also active on Twitter for quite a while, and somewhere I mean there are two side of things. One thing is probably if I see someone has a blue tick now and it can be purchased, I might not be able to I mean, again, I'm not sure that how big shot is that person or not, which happens initially because it's a very difficult verification process. And now you are getting access to it for, $8. And second thing, probably what I believe, it's also a good thing, let's say, because if so let's say even if you're not that big shot, but uh, a decent entrepreneur or say celebrity who has a decent audience, then it becomes difficult to impose like someone for impersonating personating him on Twitter. So I think, uh, but again, the question is that. I mean, again, I think it's a two. So that situation is that whether you would want to favor it or, uh, I mean, this thing is also already getting a lot of criticism. So how do you see this thing?
Right. See, number one, a blue tick was considered a status symbol, right? Status symbol is something that becomes difficult to have because it's based on your status. Like when someone had a blue tick, you think that this person's a big shot. Now everyone can afford a blue tick. Now that's a positive. The negative would be that everyone can afford a blue tick. But I don't think probably it does become very discriminatory, but it does because now the segregation is on the basis of how much you can pay. So that is one. Second thing is, I think it also democratizes the process that, okay, now probably if someone makes a fake profile of Rajan, this was the verified Rajan. I don't know how the verification process works, but if someone's impersonating you, now they can get, suspended, or you can at least have that kind of authority कि भाई मैं ही original हूँ. So that can also help you with it. But again, I am not aware of the process. So I might not be the right person to talk about it. You can ask the Twitter team, but पूरी Twitter team तो fire हो गई. So you can tweet at the rate Elon Musk as well. But anyways, on the serious note, it's not funny. A lot of people got fired and all. A few of my friends at Twitter also got fired. So it was their last day. So I was in touch with Twitter team, like in India, with the team based in Bombay. So a lot of them actually got laid off. So it's actually very sad. But getting back to the thing I'm talking about, right? So it is very, very subjective. And I think now a lot of people can actually get a blue tick so it can be verified to their profile. But again, जब तक सबके पास नहीं आता या जब तक प्रॉपरली लोग खरीदना नहीं शुरू करते, we cannot talk because then it's prediction.
Correct. Okay. So we have some people who have raised their hands. Let's go to Dipti, then Gungun, then Bhushan. Okay. Hey, Dipti, how are you doing? Hello, Dipti, you there? Yeah.
Hello, hi everyone. So I wanted to ask, is there any chances that the blue tick $8 one is a new revenue making for Twitter?
Absolutely, absolutely, it is right. because that is why you make things chargeable. But a really good question. Yes, it is one of the revenue sources.
Okay. Uh, Dipti, you have any other question?
No, that's it. That's the
Okay.
one point I wanted to say.
Great, great. I'll also move you to the listeners because there are a lot of requests being there. Okay. Thank you so much for asking the question. Let's go to Gungun now. Hey, Gungun.
Hi Kalyan Bhaiya, hi Shruti and hi Sejal. Thank you for giving me the chance to speak. Sejal, I wanted to ask that is there any number of tweets criteria? This is a number that we should tweet because sometimes we tweet 5 or 6 and sometimes we do it like 1 or 2. So is this affect our growth or ऐसा कुछ भी है? So just please tell me.
See, you have to engage with other accounts irrespective of how many times you tweet. But when you're a small account, or probably when you have a lesser number of followers, you might need to come on someone's feed multiple times unless you're being muted by people. That is a separate thing. But yeah, so to build that visibility, you should at least like tweet 5 times a day and also reply to other comments if you have the time for it. Otherwise, tweet as you like, right? It's not always necessary कि मेरे को 1,000 followers चाहिए. If you probably if it's useful to you, then you should invest in it. Otherwise, just be happy how things are going, because a lot of people use social media as a social media and some people also use it for business. So it depends. Are you being social or are you being like probably professional?
All right, got it. Thank you.
Thanks, Gungun. And let's go to Bhushan now. Then we'll go to Raj. Then we'll go to Priyanka. Then Raj. Yes, Bhushan.
Yeah, thank you, Kalyan. Yeah, hi, Shruti, Kalyan, and Sejal. Thank you for having me on the space. And so my question was, as we were talking about building the brand and growing on Twitter. So uh, I have a question, like how we can grow the Twitter page for a company. So the same strategies can be applied for growing the page of the company, or is there any like different rules or strategies?
On just on a funny note, refer to them to me as a client. But on a serious note, see, when you build a platform for anyone, right, for Twitter and anything, the thing that you do is that सबसे पहले you understand what the brand persona is, right? Probably for a brand like Durex or Zomato, certain humor might work, but for a serious brand, or when you're representing the government of a country and you're managing their socials, you need to be serious. So understand the brand persona and then tweet accordingly, and also understand what's your target audience like. Once you've studied and you've made a proper persona, it's very similar to probably business in a way, or business pitch, where you have to analyze your consumer, you have to analyze your clients and all. And once you've done that, you can obviously find a way.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Bhushan. Let's go to Raj. Hi, Raj. How are you doing?
Hi, Kalyan bhai. I'm doing absolutely great. Hi, Shruti. Hi, Sejal.
Hello.
Uh, okay, so yeah, one more thing. Sejal, how's your fever? Is it good?
I am much better. I'm recovering slowly, but much better. Thank you for asking.
Okay, okay. So yeah, my question is, do you schedule your tweets? And if yes, then what times you prefer?
See, it's again very, very subjective, but early morning works very well, probably around the noon, and also evening works very well. You have to understand when do your audience come on socials, right? Let's just say if you're professional audience, right? Just give me 1 minute. I'm having a bad throat, so I'm just going to drink some water and get back to you. Just give me 1 minute.
Sure, Sejal.
But yeah, talking about the schedule time, it's very audience subjective, right? If you're a part of the 5 a.m. club and you're probably running a cohort like that, तो 5 बजे आपकी audience उठेगी. Whereas probably if you're looking at the 9 to 5 वाला crowd, so probably उनके lunch break में is when they use socials, or early morning or night. So you need to understand who are you targeting, and that is the most appropriate time. But afternoons work pretty well. Early afternoons, like pre-early afternoons, and probably evenings work well.
Okay, nice. Thanks.
Okay, so let's go to Priyanka. Hi, Priyanka. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing very well. I'm really happy to hear Sejal's nasal congestion is gone and speedy recovery, Sejal. So, Kalyan, thanks. And Shruti, thanks for giving the opportunity to talk. Technically, I'm, of course, here for two questions. And I absolutely know the first question that Sejal will expect, which is Sejal, when are you coming to Hyderabad? Kyunki बिरयानी का ना महक आप लाइक स्मेल करते ही आपका सब चले जाएगा, you know, your lungs will start feeling fresh. So just come to Hyderabad soon also, because we've started our 100 girls in blockchain cohort and it's going to go until December 3rd. I know बीच में ETH India भी है, Ethereum India, which is the biggest conference in Asia for blockchain. So उससे पहले please आप आ जाना. And that's the first question. So second question actually is, oh my goodness, your threads, Sejal, like they go into extensive, comprehensive research. Like how, what tools do you use to actually slice and dice that data? Okay, like this, I think all of us can use, man. Like let us know. So I need to, first of all, yeah, when you're coming to Hyderabad, please.
So, middle of November, I have my exams. That is one, and the day your cohort gets over is my birthday. So I can probably visit Hyderabad after 7th December, because 7th is my grandfather's funeral. Basically, 4 years after the death. So after 7, I'm free to go anywhere. Right, December ka. So I can make a plan. That is one. Second is talking about the threads. Right. The one thing that I use is probably, there is GK channel for UPSC, GK videos. Do you get
Yes,
it?
yes, yes.
So those GK videos, don't take anything from those GK videos, but those GK videos always know the headlines. उसको 2x पे देखो, automatically you'll get topics to work around. Also I'm a very voracious reader, so I read a lot of newspaper. I don't get enough time in college, that is one, but I try to, right? I talk to a lot of other content creators in my field, right? A lot of my friends are content creators who do YouTube, who do Insta, and who also do probably LinkedIn. A lot of them. So I keep on talking, we keep on discussing topics. So रात को हमारा discussion ही यही होता है sometimes, VC, अच्छा, ये post viral चल गई, ये ऐसा हो गया, ये वैसा हो गया. So a lot of conversation around that, a lot of conversation around business, finance automatically keeps on happening, because a lot of my friends are founders as well. So you pick up on news and you work around it, and obviously you look up sources as well. So that's about it.
Thank you so much. Priyanka, you have any other questions? Okay, I think she's not there. Okay, let's go to Saurav. Hey, Saurav,
Yeah.
how are you?
Hey Kalyan, I am good. Thanks, yaar. And hi Sejal, hi Shruti. So I have a question for maybe Sejal. So when I started using Twitter, so actually my account is very old, but I started means working on my Twitter account recently. Okay. So when I joined Twitter, that time it was like okay, you have to use hashtags, and I was like in the mindset, okay, I used to go to different sites to know what hashtag I should use. Okay, and nowadays what I see, it have changed completely. So even in your tweets also I see that normally we don't use hashtags nowadays, then also posts are going getting viral. What are your views in this? Means should I use the hashtags now also, or what is it?
Number one question: what is your purpose of using Twitter? I need to understand that, then I can probably guide you.
Yeah, Sejal. So yeah, so basically, Sejal means I'm asking for both my personal account as well as for my business account. Okay. So for my personal account, yeah, my motive is very clear that yeah, I wanted my network to grow for my business. Okay. And yeah, and for business, it's means I am creating a goal-based app where I wanted to grow it.
Right. And in a day, how much time do you have?
Yeah, Sejal, that is really tough for me to take out time. But yeah, means mostly means I keep my around whole day. It's like 2.5 hours for me. Keeping for my social media. In that Twitter, I have around one point. Means 1.5 hours something.
Right. Uh, just give me 1 minute, please.
Yeah.
Right. So basically, I'm in a college hostel. So my roommate was asking me if I can go to some other location. So I just came to the. Apparently, the hostel that I've changed to actually has a walk-in closet, so I can talk from here. But anyways, getting back to the thing, right? See, सबसे पहले, if you have 2.5 hours, how many social medias do you do?
For my personal schedule, means yeah, nowadays it's very tough for me to manage time. So only Twitter, what I am looking for. And for me, my business, it's basically Twitter and Insta. But
Right.
for my
And
business, I have a team.
right. So it's always a good idea to sublet a business account to a professional. That is one. And
Mm.
probably every platform has an expert, so you can probably consult with them. That is the second thing. If you want to do everything on your own, which is a priority, your personal or your business account, and then uske baad just start working on that account first before you work for another account.
Yeah, means generally, if I talk about my personal account, so what is it like? My question is, should I use a hashtag in my personal account
Oh,
too?
hashtags you should
Yeah.
know, because I personally don't think Twitter hashtags work unless you want to create a collective movement. Unless you want to like make a trend viral, hashtags shouldn't be a go-to thing. And probably you started in 2016, right? If I give you a
Yeah.
profile audit, excuse me, I think, and if you haven't gained a lot of followers recently, then I personally, with all due respect, I think your followers are dead right now because मतलब कि एक्टिविटी उनका नहीं होगा ट्विटर पे, क्योंकि
Hmm.
6 या 7 साल, आई थिंक मैं 2022, तो 6 साल पुरानी ऑडियंस है एंड उसमें भी इतने फॉलोअर्स हैं, तो मुझे नहीं लगता कि उसमें ज़्यादा ऑडियंस एक्टिव होगा, तो अब इससे ज़्यादा ऑडियंस से एंगेजमेंट वैसे भी एक्सपेक्ट नहीं कर सकते. सो इफ़ यू थिंक ऑफ, अभी अपने अकाउंट को सोचो कि 0 फॉलोअर्स है एंड जो सारी मैंने टेक्निक्स बताई उनको अप्लाई करना स्टार्ट कर दो अगर आपके पास टाइम है. अगर टाइम नहीं है ट्विटर के लिए, तो देन गो टू अ प्रोफेशनल, गो फॉर अ कंसल्टेशन, go to a freelancer, ask them for a consultation, book a consultation with whoever, book it with a social media marketing expert, come to me, anyone, but then sublet it to someone else.
Thanks a lot, Sejal.
ओके सो सेजल के स्पेस से मुझे अगर कोई एक बहुत अच्छा बंदा मिला है, ही इज रजत. सो रजत इज आल्सो रेजिंग हिज हैंड. हाउ आर यू मैन?
Hi Kalyan, how was your day?
All good, all good. Yes, go ahead, you can ask your question.
So I have a question here. So from what I've observed, एक जो general audience होता है for platform, उनका एक collective IQ होता है. So if you see Facebook, उनका एक collective IQ है, Instagram पे, and then Twitter. So do you think that kind of content you create around Twitter, around Instagram, and around Facebook should vary according to the general IQ, or is it some sort of niche जिस चीज को आप target कर रहे हो?
I think it is not exactly IQ because
Sorry
IQ,
for the wrong word.
it'll be more of your literacy rate or your educational background, because IQ, when I say that, I when probably you can probably be from a very, you can be a poor person or a very low income group person yet have a high IQ. But when you're talking about Twitter hosts few of the most richest people. That is one. Right, that is one. Second, Twitter also has, users of Twitter have a higher, income level as well, and there's a research that was done on it because a lot of literate people, मैंने पढ़े लिखे लोग इस प्लेटफॉर्म पे हैं, बिकॉज टेक्स्ट बेस्ड प्लेटफॉर्म है. आप समझ रहे हो? So that is how you can categorize the audience, because it's more easy to use an Instagram अगर for example, but again पढ़ा लिखा can be very different for different people, so it's very, very subjective. But yeah, Twitter usually hosts a more polished, literate, or probably more financially sound audience that can be looked into it. Besides the audience that goes for these trends and trolls and all, that's a separate thing, but usually has a better income group.
Okay, so okay, do we have any other questions? We have DJ sir with us. We have Aditi. Yes, DJ sir. Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, hi, Kalyan. Thanks for having me here. Yeah. Great conversation, great listening to Sejal, and thanks, Shruti, for having me here. More than a question, I have like these couple of half thoughts, and I would really love to hear from probably you and maybe the rest of the speakers also on it. I don't know about IQ, but I have realized that people tend to put on their most, intelligent side of themselves when they are on Twitter. Probably they want to look the best on Instagram, okay, and invariably, perpetually, everyone seems to be given an interview on LinkedIn for whatever reason. But that's the way my interaction with most of these most of these platforms seem to be. Having said that, like I said, while I find Twitter so interesting because there is this no filter, this great feeling of knowing that okay, you're on the same platform where there's whatever Elon Musk, Obama, all the others. Personally, I've reached this conclusion that probably Twitter is the most interesting 16-year-old we have. I don't think Facebook managed to last teenage, and they're already talking about changing and everything. The question that is coming out of all of this is one side of me is telling me that probably Elon Musk taking over Twitter is a very good thing because there's always horses for courses. Dorsey could have built this to the teenager with a lot of potential. But for the teenager to be a young adult, you need someone who is far more hard-nosed and a businessman to really take it forward. Just want to know what you think about that on one side. The other question that I have is I think this entire blue tick thing probably it's like with all other social media that we all seem to be a part of. These are all ideas, insights, and creations that happened in Silicon Valley and in the West. And we're a very, very different set of people on the eastern side of the world per se. So they are direct answers and the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line kind of thinking, which basically leads you to thinking that I have to do content moderation, which means I need to get bots out. If I need to get bots out, and this is a credible medium, people will be willing to come back and attach a sense of credibility to themselves and be paying a certain price. Very straight line
Yes,
thinking.
correct, correct.
Okay, I think the reverse of that and very alternative, but probably a far more in reality complicated business model. But I have a feeling that the content creator community in the end, okay, could be the ones who could really be creating or driving what could be the business model of the future for Twitter. And probably India is going to be critical on that because I was actually looking for such stats. I'm not very sure about it, but I think see on Facebook we were the biggest country on Facebook in the end at some point of time or still are. So we probably don't rank in the same way on Twitter, and that's why maybe we don't have a voice. But the collective power of the number of creators I'm seeing out here, and the quality of creators I'm seeing out here, and their ability to think with a business head, probably is the kind of thinking that needs to go back to Musk. And so, would love to hear your thoughts and anyone else who wants to kind of add into thoughts on this one.
Yeah, thank you so much, dear sir. Sejal, you want to add something to this?
I don't want to specifically add something to it because I really appreciate the thought, but it's a slightly broad question. But is there any specific part that you'd like me to answer? I'd be more than happy to comply.
Okay, if I bring it down to a specific question, I think creating the blue tick is not a global answer, okay, and not an $8 blue tick, okay, per se. And I don't think this is a pricing question. I think an alternative business model which will keep Twitter at the edge of where it is, built by the creator community who is really contributing to what Twitter is today, finally in the end. I think that is possibly the answer. Okay, and I just wanted to hear your thoughts on that.
Obviously people are retained on a platform because of the content that gets delivered, right? So that is, I think, very, very necessary. That is one. So obviously content creators need to be remunerated, otherwise we'll migrate to other platforms. Instagram has a meta creator day. LinkedIn assigns you managers, and probably as a creator you do expect something from a platform you've been building on, right? Because a lot of people do become because of a creator specific IPs on a set. Excuse me, please excuse me, on a specific platform. So obviously remuneration needs to be there, otherwise the creator will shift. Creators, the whole business of content creation is very fast. You need to pivot, right? Even you realize that probably TikTok got banned in India, a lot of TikTok content creators came to Instagram Reels, and it did work out for a few of them, and some of them did come to the pressure. So at the end of the day, yes, you need to reward your creators well, otherwise content create नहीं होगा, आपके platform पे कोई रहेगा नहीं. So I do agree with you.
That is amazing, Sejal. So we will take the last two questions, Aditi and Tej. Just बहुत small में, if you can ask your question. Let's go to first Tej. Hey Tej, how are you doing?
Hi Kalyan, hi Shruti, hi Sejal. How's everyone doing? So basically my question to Sejal was like if you have two different fields of content to provide from the same Twitter, would that be a mess, or like would you suggest two different accounts provided the person doesn't have much time to handle both the accounts?
Depends. Very subjective. Finance, business go hand in hand. Slight humor and finance go hand in hand. You see so many portfolio managers on Twitter, excuse me, please excuse me. Sharing funny things on ITC, memes on ITC. See, humor and finance. So things that complement. If I say humor and probably musical singing, might also work out. So you need to see if the combo goes hand in hand. You cannot have chocolate ice cream and noodles. So you need to understand if the combo works well or not. So that's something you need to be very specific on. So if you want, let me know what specific niches are you talking about, and I'll be more than happy to help you in the DMs. Or irrespective, ask it in the space. It's still only.
So, I
Uh
don't
huh.
think bioscience and law are like they're two different fields, right? Like that would confuse. Like I've been hearing people saying stick to one niche, you're confusing your
No,
audience.
don't stick to one niche, and I'll tell you why. So you know CRISPR babies, right? I'm very fond of again reading online blogs. You know CRISPR babies.
No, sorry.
अच्छा तो
Okay.
चाइना के अंदर डिजाइनर बेबीज बनते हैं ठीक है हाँ इसके ऊपर आई कैन डू
Okay.
अ नाइस थ्रेड गुड आइडिया एनीवेज गेटिंग बैक टू व्हाट आई वाज टॉकिंग अबाउट designer babies बनते हैं so you can alter physical features genetic features of your baby and it's illegal in China so there was a doctor who did that so bioscience illegal law. So you have to find out ways to make things work, right? Financial law, bioscience law. If you can make it well, you can curate it well, you can pack it well, you can sell anything and everything. But need to be mindful. Now, if you say belly dance and law doesn't match, sorry. Unless you're talking about strict places where that do not allow belly dance, that's a separate thing.
Got it. Okay. Okay. Cool. Thanks, Yoseji.
Thanks, Tej, for asking that question. Okay, let's go to Aditi. Yes, Aditi, you can ask your question.
Hi Kalyan, Sejal and Shruti. Thank you so much for giving me a chance to speak. And so I'll make it quick. I think it is kind of connected to Tejasvi's question. But it's not about having two niches. But let's say I came to Twitter looking for leads. Now that was very naive of me at that time. And instead I found a very good network here, right? But I found myself kind of torn. Like, do I talk about marketing and how I, as an expert, can solve that? Or do I talk about, let's say, I mean, there's a funny element to it as well, right? So, how do you strike the balance? And because so that your account doesn't go too much into marketing, for example, for me, and neither does it go too much into, let's say, memes and all that stuff.
Right, perfect. So, see, I have friends who run marketing agencies that are making crazy amounts and who are working with massive startups. And these founders of these agencies talk about finance, they talk about their personal life, they talk about anything and everything, but they're not exactly getting leads from Twitter. But then a lot of their clients follow them on Twitter, and that's where they became friends and they converted friends into clients. Now, that is one way. Second thing is that, bro, you're a normal human being, right? And if you're a normal human being, having humor, different parts of your personality is very natural. And if you're getting clients, I don't know what your specific niche is. So what do you specifically do?
So basically, we help the clients with the branding and the performance marketing on social media, video editing, and all that
I
stuff.
personally don't think your clients. So do you guys and you? I'm sorry, I don't have experience of working with performance back marketers, but like, do you guys have a portfolio or some kind of results that you show your clients कि इतना इतना हमने results लेकर आए
Yeah,
campaign से?
yeah, I do.
So does your account participate in those campaigns?
Yeah.
No, as in ki, do you act as an influencer for those campaigns?
No, we don't do influencer campaigns as of now, but mostly paid advertising is
Right.
what we're doing.
So I personally don't think exactly your personal account might be valid in that case. So I think you can post a lot of things, but making it sure that you are a marketing personality. Otherwise, you can specifically keep it niche specific and you're still good to go. But people usually appreciate people who they work with people who they can trust, and trust is built over genuine conversations. So I think having a mix of everything, but ensuring that it is done in moderation is very necessary. You can't have sweet all day, neither can you have salt all day. Okay, Kalyan, I see one question from Soumya Gita. Can I please take her question? I know Aditi
Sure,
was going
sure,
to be last, but Soumya
sure.
is a very good friend of ours.
True. Hey, Shaumya, take.
Hi Kalyan, hi Sejal. Sejal, I missed Sunday space. I was thinking that it's on Saturday, and then I said I have a workshop, but Sunday also I got completely, okay. Then I was like, even the workshop continues on Sunday. I was looking at your spaces, like, damn man, it should have been nicer, and I miss it. I to everyone, whoever here, she runs the book space, and that's amazing because there also lots and lots of knowledge sharing has been happening with her, and you can see the the other part of Sejal also, which is like I love her of all the way she is. The question, Sejal, um, getting back to the series topic, number one is I think means there was a comment shared between us on the content creators, how exactly the monetization effect Twitter comes in for the blue tick. That as a content creator on the Twitter, what things you love to expect from the Twitter when it comes to monetizing. That is one question. And second is like, I have a different niche also. I'm a gardener, I'm a pranic healer, I'm a workshop coordinator, and also I have my own LLC where that's the reason entrepreneurship I put across, and visual communication designer. More or everything is art based. For me right now, the Twitter is like literally I'm getting kind of into NFTs. So there are lots and lots of sharing happens because for us, when it comes to NFT artists, the Twitter has been a kind of a boon for many artists who are earning their bread and butter using based on the cryptos and NFTs. Many people they have even paid rents for 3 to 4 months in advance because of this. But the way I'm seeing the growth, right, the growth wise it's been cutting off because there is we have been in a pool of same kind of we are in a stuck in a lake, you know, not a river. So it's like the same kind of a thing is happening because you follow them, the interaction happens only these people. If I have to break the chain, because the artist helps each other, so sharing the DM with the GM post is what we can talk about. GM is all about a. We say GM means there is morning in some part of the world there is more. It's good morning, so we put across GM. Now when I see it, the stagnant is coming. If I'm not active in Twitter, even for 1 day or 2 day, if I want to take a break, the entire what do you say the crowd or the tractions or the traffic is completely stagnant. Again, the same pool we have to go. Whereas when it comes to marketing post like the thread you, Kalyan, everyone does, it's completely different. So it's like the breaking Twitter on different genre and different segments and sectors. That is where I'm like literally on hitting the rock bottom.
Right.
What? Yes.
So
What do you think?
okay, so I'll pehle answer the monetization wala question because that is easy. See, I as a creator, I'll be very very honest with you, right? As a creator, I expect to get paid as a US creator in dollars. That is one, because see, it doesn't really make sense if okay, I'll explain you one thing. So a lot of my friends, right, they work on YouTube AdSense, but a lot of YouTubers don't make money from YouTube AdSense, especially Indian YouTubers, because they hardly get paid anything. But Indian YouTubers make money from brand deals. If I realize that probably मुझे rupees में ही मिल रहा है, as in कि rupee equivalent या कम मिल रहा है from a US Twitter creator, then that would be a turn off for me, right? Because I'm very clear about my money and my finances. Like I am very very clear on those terms when I work with anyone. That is one, right? And two, the question that you were asking me, see, and I mean it in all the best ways. When there's an NFT or crypto search, a lot of people start, probably following a lot of crypto accounts. But when probably, at least in the Indian content creator market, right? Nowadays, I think the Vault thing happened and few other things happened. So the scene went a bit cold, at least for content creators. So now you'll see crypto content creators also advertising other financial stock products or other kind of things. So थोड़ा सा वहाँ से deviate हो गया. So the scene will recover once probably some massive Bitcoin jump happens, because that is how people work, right? That's why when there's a bear, I don't know if there's a crypto bear market for you, but for creators in the crypto field, it's a bear market, right? So that is when a lot of people, that is when wealth is created. You can buy a lot of ETH or whatever you're buying, right? But then जब market surge होती है तब सबको खरीदना होता है कि भाई Bitcoin इतना grow हो गया वगैरह वगैरह वगैरह. So very subjective, not suggesting anyone to buy Bitcoin. But if you have money, go ahead. I'm not recommending it to you. Right, though I do have some element of crypto in my portfolio that is purely personal, and I think I can waste that amount of money. But anyways, getting back to what I was talking to you about, so probably if you talk about certain things that are trending in the market right now, you'll automatically get that kind of reach. But is that the kind of audience you're planning to build is something that you need to understand. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? And also, probably be very assertive with your account. People like accounts that assert, as in don't be passive but don't be over aggressive, be assertive with their account. And also, like, host a space, interact with people, just be chill, you'll enjoy and grow on it. But if you want instant growth, then probably talk about trending topics, you'll get that growth. But you want specific audience for that, either you become a crypto leader in the field, so a lot of people will follow you irrespective of bear and bull market. Otherwise it might get a bit difficult, because I had a friend who had very good engagement on their account. They started working with a crypto startup as some position, and they started posting a lot of crypto tweets ekdam se. So I saw that the engagement went low, because a lot of people right now are a bit crypto averse, because the whole world thing, like at least the investors that probably don't use their brain while investing, right? So they've been very cold about it. But once you see Bitcoin rising, or probably Bitcoin just reaches 1 crore, these people will go crazy. And you tweeting anything about NFTs will go viral. So understand the trend, understand the market, and you're good to go. But if you want niche specific audience, then probably start building on LinkedIn, start with Twitter, and start sharing your personal experiences as an NFT artist. I would be really interested in how your life works. How does your schedule work? Personalized content always works. Does that help?
Yeah, it's in a, I mean, so I would say that 50% yes, 50% I think the role of me as an NFT artist is nothing to do with the crypto traders or Bitcoin, because I am into Ethereum blockchain. So mine is completely Ethereum, and I
Right.
buy even cryptos and sell my art in the form in on the Ethereum blockchain. So the thing
Right.
is that right now is a bear market. Yes, we say that because Ethereum, it was around it went till $3,000, 3,000 to $4,000, but now if you see, it has come down to 1,200. So that is cut off. That is a lot of cutoff is there. But as an artist, for me, my only thing is to create art and sell the art on this one of the platform. So yes, as you said, being assertive is good, but not being aggressive, because right now when I see the other influences in the on the NFT, who are trying to preach and not follow, but yet giving a false kind of preaching. When I followed that, my Twitter followers also completely went down, and the reach also went down. So right now, being authentic, what as you said, that is what I'm doing. Yet it's like it's very confusing. The Twitter is, Instagram is completely different, but Twitter. When I come back to the marketing, this account was completely about marketing, and I was connecting, and I was just hosting lots of marketing rooms in Clubhouse. Whereas Twitter, it's like I come to your space, Kalyan's space, that's it. So that is where the jump, it's like, the jump and the block both are coming to me. Whether should I invest the time in engaging with the Twitter, other handles or not? That is where I'm like, and I'm an introvert. I may talk to you and Kalyan in
Right.
your space, but I'm not like that in other spaces. So
Right.
a lot of factors comes in.
So I get it. So probably what I can do is I can have a small chat with you on the DMs, and we can figure some way out. But I'll be very, very honest with you. Do one thing. So you make NFT images, right? And some of your NFT images are scary. You also know that, right? Remember one NFT image that you sent me while you were sending me good wishes and all on DM, remember?
I just wanted to show you that it's a Halloween theme.
Huh, it
That
is
is
scary.
a that was on the zombie walk, and that was Halloween theme. And I showed you. See, this is not an image. This is actually a human who put on the makeup. So I don't do that. I am into different genre,
Right.
more
Right.
into conservation.
Right. Okay. Okay. So whichever genre you're into. Okay. So what you do is, I'd be very interested in how you got inspiration and what was the process to make it. Right. So why not you write a thread on it, like how you became an NFT artist and how has your experience been? Some people might be interested to read it. Some people might not be interested to read it. But at the end of the day, if if that receives a good kind of an audience, if it does, then you can actually build good clients. You can actually have good following and all, right? Because any day 100 true followers are better than 10,000 inactive followers. Like I think I told someone as well in the space, अगर आपके 2016 में followers बने थे and आपने उसके बाद post नहीं करा तो वो dead followers हैं, आप zero पे हो. So getting the whole point, the reason I'm saying is not to mock or anything, but what I'm trying to tell you is that active audience active ही होती है और inactive inactive होती है. So following consistently built over a period of time is way better than building a following, then becoming inactive, then again building a following. तो फिर आप zero पे आए हैं, अब उसको accept करो and then automatically use those techniques that other accounts will. Okay, so guys, I have one small request, Kalyan as well. I am very hungry. I have to have dinner. Kalyan, if it's okay.
Yeah, Sejal, you can leave. Thank you so much for being here. And also, Sejal is about to complete 100K. So, guys, yes, you can see a pin comment, like a pin tweet. तो आप उसके साथ engage कर सकते हो. Thank you so much, Sejal. Shruti, you have any words? Final words.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much, Sejal. It was very insightful and interesting space. It was amazing having you over here, and I hope everybody have learned as much as I have also learned from whatever you said. So thanks a lot for having us, joining us, and I hope in future also we will have spaces with you. So thank you, Sejal. Thank you so much, Kalyan, and thank you everyone else. Everybody, thank you so much for joining our space today.
यस, थैंक यू सो मच। एंड अगर आपको ये स्पेस अच्छा लगा तो प्लीज़ इसको ट्वीट करिएगा। एंड थैंक यू सो मच सेजल। तो हम इसको सेजल के वे में एंड करेंगे। सो द स्पेस इज गोना एंड इन 3, 2, 1। बाय गाइस।
Bye.
Thank you for listening to us, and if you want to participate in live spaces, just follow our Twitter handles. हम ऐसे spaces हर हफ्ते करते हैं, and अगर आपको ये पसंद आया तो follow करना हमको and share this podcast. Thank you so much and see you next week. Bye bye.